So the main characters in the story are in high school, and so a lot of it is very, if not autobiographical, it's just influenced by what kind of my experiences as a teenager. And everyone who's been a teenager or is a teenager has kind of been through that, where you're questioning lots of things and you're trying to find your place socially, and so there were certain, so like one of the main characters is Scott, who in a lot of ways was very much based on me, and not every way, but a lot of ways was based on me. So you find out pretty quickly that he's just moved to this new city because his dad got remarried, and you find out he has new stepbrothers and sisters, which is what happened to me. There's a variation of that, and that his mom had passed away, and that's kind of what led to all this, and that's kind of his backstory of him trying to figure out his life. And so some of that was very personal to me, and it was just and then of course it's not exactly what happened to me. It's very taken in new directions, but that was a big part that stayed. So that was kind of the heart and the soul of this whole series. It wasn't just about lots of big explosive action and all that stuff, which there is a lot of, which is a really fun part of the book, but it's also really deeply about the characters and kind of what they're all going through, and getting to know them, and just getting to know that they're, people in real life are complex, and sometimes what you see on the outside isn't what's really driving them. And so that's really that's kind of been the heart of the book, is just the characters, and then they happen to have powers, which are super awesome too. So he was kind of that main character that I was thinking of. And so he's a very, contemplative character. He's a teenager, but I feel like the general stereotype of teenagers in books and movies and stuff like that is they're all, it's all about partying, it's all about this and this, but I having been a teenager and then with church, I work with teenagers, and just seeing that they're very, they're really cool people most of the time. They're very deep thinkers. They have lots going on in their lives. They have lots of things they're trying to figure out, and I really wanted to capture that part of. Thank you. I really wanted to capture that part of these characters, and then with Scott in particular. And so that was a big reflection on that for me. I hope I'm answering your question correctly. That was kind of the heart of the seed of that character. And then it also, I guess part of his character too is he's religious, and so that's part of him. He's just trying to figure out, okay, what is it that I feel like what my purpose is? Mm-hmm. And then when he ends up getting these superhuman abilities, then for him, he's like, well, this seems to be the answer I was looking for. And so he's still exploring that and trying to figure it out. And of course, in real life, things don't always go smoothly. And so that's a big part of you get those challenges to your faith, or you get those challenges to what you think you're supposed to be doing, and what do you do when those setbacks hit you? And that's how he deals with it. The other four characters come from other backgrounds, and so their take on what these powers mean is sometimes different. The way they deal with their challenges is sometimes different. So it's really fun to kind of put all these characters in a room together and bounce them off each other and kind of see how they're all, and that's actually a big part of the book is with these 5 teenagers. They all come from very different backgrounds, very different, challenges they're dealing with in their personal lives, and then what happens when you throw superhuman abilities on top of all that? What do you do with that craziness, that chaos? And it kind of forces them, people who never would have hung out, left to their own devices, right? That are kind of forced to pull together and work together to figure out what do these powers mean? What do we do with them? And then at the same time get put up against this really terrible, awful, scary bad guy who's more powerful than them. And so there's lots of great drama, lots of great character stuff to be found in the story there.